Jason Todd's death, that's the one on the right here, was maybe the most infamous death in comics history. Jason Todd was a wildly unpopular character. He was introduced in the early 80s as a replacement for Dick Grayson so that Dick could go off and become Nightwing. And he was a carbon copy of Dick Grayson. He was a circus kid whose parents were murdered, and he's adopted by Bruce Wayne, and he becomes Robin. After Crisis, they gave him a new origin that was completely different. He was a street kid. He had all this attitude. His father had been murdered by Two-Face, and so he sort of had a big chip on his shoulder. And as a result, he was just very, very unpopular. And so DC came up with the idea, based on a thing they had seen on Saturday Night Live, to do this phone stunt where they would put Robin, Jason Todd, in a dangerous situation, and then the issue would end with his fate unclear and 2 phone numbers that you could call, one to save him and one to kill him. And so they left it up to the fans to decide whether Jason Todd would live or die. And by a margin of 72 votes, it was decided that Jason Todd would die. Wow. And that's how we ended up with Jason Todd's death.
Wow. Imagine if we left this to social media.
Oh,
today.
Yes. Well, they'd get millions and millions of votes.
Be hashtagging things.
But yeah, I think the votes today would be overwhelmingly to kill him.
Yeah.
Probably. If he were written the same way that he was at the time, probably. Because they really, Starlin really played into how unpopular the character was and just made him the biggest little snot you could imagine.
But he's also just the suit. Anybody you put in the suit is Robin. So it's not like you kill Robin and then you bring that Robin back. Although with Jason Todd, they brought him back as
now
the Red Hood.
They kill a lot of the Robins?
There have been 2 that have died. Or I guess 3 technically. But
I would say that's a lot.
That is a lot. That's a high percentage of Robins who have died. But the one on the right there is Damian Wayne. He is the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul, and he became Robin after Bruce Wayne died in Final Crisis, which I think we'll get to later. And he was Robin for a while, and he sort of developed a fan following as he grew into the role. And then he died in just a very brutal way in battle against a clone of himself, and it ultimately didn't last for very long. Like, they made a big deal of it. They announced it in the press before it came out, and then, he was dead, and then within a year he was back. Like, there wasn't just a new Robin, it was Damian was back.
Yeah, see, that's the problem.
Kill a good character and people care.
Yes, but that's the thing. People care about Damian, and they're like, okay, let's kill him to boost sales or whatever. And people are like, okay, great, because then Damian could have stayed dead. Because as I said, Robin is just a costume.
This is not worth anything now, right? Like the back issue, this is probably not worth anything.
I think if you told a lot of people that Damian had died once, they would have no idea.
I didn't know. I didn't know that Damian died.
You didn't know that? I didn't know.
Whereas with Jason Todd, his death had huge resonance for Batman and for
and he's still dead, right?
He's a villain. He's a villain in Gotham now.
What's that? If he died, he came back.
He got
better.
Somebody took his body and threw it in the Lazarus pit.
Okay.
From what I remember.
Okay, here's what really happened.
Okay.
At the end of Crisis, I know I have to go all the way back to Crisis on Infinite Earths. At the end of Crisis on Infinite Earths, the Superman and Lois Lane of Earth 2 and the Superboy from Earth Prime went into like a little paradise pocket dimension with Alexander Luthor. It was revealed 25 years later that they had been watching the events of the DC universe unfold since the end of Crisis, and they didn't like what they saw. So Superboy punched at the walls of the prison, and his punches at the walls of this reality sent ripples throughout the timeline, resulting in the correction of the timeline to where Jason was alive.
I want this part of my life back.
I would
5 minutes.
I would like this part of my life back as well, please.
Yeah, you had to read the issues,
but it doesn't make.
He does eventually end up in a Lazarus pit after he claws himself out of his own grave.
It's so dumb. They just have to find a way to bring him back just because. There's no reason that they needed to do that.
Absolutely not. Agreed.
Go ahead, Deanna. What were you going to say?
It kind of shocks me that the editors of these comics don't go, that's stupid. Let's come up with something better.
It's so overly complicated. It's so complicated.
Like if I was in that editorial meeting, I would have been like,
Huh?
What do you got? No, really, what do you got?
How much money am I getting
What do you
paid to say yes?
What do you
That's
got?
gotta say.
It was
That's
like
it?
they had to tie it to the big event that summer, and so that was the best they could come up with to
Remember
do
when I
it.
said there are no bad ideas in this brainstorming?
There you go. I stand correct.
We're gonna say punching through the wall of reality. We're gonna say that one. We're gonna throw that one out.
That's
All right, let's
I
go.
wonder how Jim Starlin felt about letting the fans decide out the story, how it plays out. I mean,
I think he was surprised that it went the way that it did.
Mm.
But he was more than happy to do it.
But they
'Cause
drew
he
both.
was
They drew
all
both endings.
for
Still
killing
about
Jason.
I did not know that.
They drew both endings, right?
They did, yeah. So Jim Aparo and Mike DiCarlo did a few alternate pages and then just like patch panels that they could plug in depending on how the vote went.
Was it like that picture behind you, but instead of Jason being dead, he's like, "Oh, I'm just really hurt.
It's more like the
You're like, oh,
My back."
it's the other image
the
other image that you showed with Batman holding his body, but Batman is like smiling and he says, "Thank God he's alive."
didn't they kill Stephanie Brown too?
They did. She had been
She was the
stripped of the Robin title at that point. She was back to being spoiler, and then
Spoiler.
it was a very complicated storyline about a gang war in Gotham.
Did they kill her?
They did. She did die. She came back. It ended up that she didn't actually die. Leslie Tompkins faked her death. I did a whole Jason Todd oral history back in 2018, and I think about Jason Todd more often than I need to. That's really what it boils down to. The Death in the Family was one of the first comics that I read when I was first getting into comics, so it's an important story to me.